Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house for another day of crypto, and of course Ethereum and Pulsechain. That's what we're going to look at some updates about that. So hope you guys enjoy the show. We're also going to look at some of the future projects that are coming up. So price outlooks, upgrades, and new projects. So that's kind of the content of today. Should be pretty fun, I think. Should be pretty fun. Yeah, don't forget to share the show around on X. That's probably the first thing to repost. And if you're on YouTube and X, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the follow buttons and help the channel grow. That'd be really great, especially with X. We had to start from the beginning again because old channel got taken down illegitimately, and so yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for gold. Let's hit the follow button and share the channel around. Your daily show on the old Pulsechain, and of course covering crypto as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to definitely check out the Pulsechain chart today. That should be a lot of fun, and see where we are sitting in terms of an outlook for where we're going here. And also, we might even check up on the Prevex sacrifice actually. Also, now if you guys are participating in the True 2X, let us know the latest results for that. Yesterday it was sitting at 91 billion pulse had gone in there in like 5-6 days. It was pretty quick. So let us know in the chat there if you're participating in that. Now, most of you are probably still recovering from Christmas, your Christmas feasts. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's now the 27th of December here in New Zealand. It's 11:34 in the morning. It's a Saturday, of course. It's a little bit overcast and rainy, dowdy outside, but that's cool. That's great for being inside, isn't it? Great for being inside. So there we go. There we go. We've had a pretty amazing sun for probably up to 2 months now, which has been remarkable at this time of year. And of course, we are heading into summer, and so yeah, I guess we are in summer now, December. But yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Even November was pretty amazing. So pretty fun there. We got Hexcavator in house there. Howdy, good to see you, Hexcavator. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat there. And of course, if you guys haven't joined up to our Discord, the link's in the video description and pinned to the top of the X site. It's a great Christmas present for yourself. Now, we have the Strategy Club, so it's just over $1 a day. It's $35 a month, and you get a lot of intel in there constantly. So constantly flying in there. Really education as well. Education as well as a lot of intel about projects and things like that. So well worth joining up at the top of in the video description at the top of X. We'll look forward to seeing you in Strategy Club, and you get all the perks of Discord as well. What else we got there? Yeah, it includes a help desk. We got the only one with a help desk, for goodness sake. That's pretty amazing. What else we got? Let's jump into that. So we're going to talk about all that. Let me just pull up one more thing before we get going. All right, let's see what we got here. I think Richard Hart was also talking about stuff today as well, so we might actually go check in on Richard Hart too. Yeah, so we're going to do that. So let me push this over there, and let's pull up Richard Hart before we get going. Let's do that. Let us know how your Christmas went in the chat, and of course on X. In fact, I'm not sure on X, do they actually have a chat area on X? I don't know if they do. Trying to see whether they actually have a chat group in the old X there. I didn't even think about it. I've seen them before. I'm just not sure the format of that. Let me have a look. No, it doesn't seem to show a chat there. Let us know if there is a chat on the old on X. Maybe you have to do a certain type of stream or something. I have seen them. No, I don't see anything there that's obvious. Oh, yeah, okay. You got to go onto the live on X site. So if you go on there, does that have a chat? It does. You've got to mute that. It does have a chat. Does it have a chat? Let's have a look. Show timestamps. Hide avatars. Repost. Pop out chat. Send a message. Well, you can send a message. Is that don't know if there's any. Hello. Let me type hello. Let's say if you're on X, let me type. First time I've done that. I've got a chat there. So if you're on, oh, look, there it goes. It shows up too. Shows up. It feeds into the studio. Oh, look at that. Bam. That's amazing. It's the first time I've done that at stages. I did see it, and I just sort of being on the back of my mind, and I haven't really done it. So if you're on X, you type in, that's going to show up on the old chat there. So maybe that's why I couldn't find it on YouTube the other day. That's hilarious. That's hilarious there. Show timestamps. Let's have a look. We got timestamps there. I'm not sure what the timestamps do, but oh, yeah, it does show timestamps in the comments. Hide avatars, pop out chat, hide mod actions. I don't even know if I don't even know how you do mod actions on there. That's hilarious. Pop out the chat. Let's do that. We're having a bit of fun here. I wasn't planning on this, but that is hilarious. All right, so okay, cool. Well, that's pretty interesting. It's hard to look at the same time, of course, when you're streaming to see the chat there. But yeah, it's actually maybe I'll pop out the chat, and that's a way of doing that. And then we'll minimize the thing. How about that? There we go. All right, so that's something new today. All right, so don't forget, hit the repost button and let's get into it. Without further ado, let's do it. In fact, let's go back out here because I just realized that I just about lost my spot. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's see how the crypto market is going, guys. I don't think we had any stock market because I think the stock market's pretty much closed. I'm pretty sure. Let me just quickly check the stock market. I'm pretty sure it was closed on Friday because you had Christmas, right? Oh, was it down slightly? Was it? Was it down? Not sure what day that. What day was that? Friday, 26th. Oh, you did have the stock market open yesterday. So they did have stock market yesterday. Let us have a quick look at that before we get going. Good thing I checked. There we go. So we did have stock market open Friday, and we'll get into that too. Boy, what a start to the show. All right, let's kick into it. Bam. And that is where we're going. So at the moment, how's everything else looking on here? Bam. All right, there we go. I think we're good. Are we good? That's are we good now? Oh no, that's kind of weird. All right, so there we go. All right, so we've got the S&P 500 for Friday, so the 26th of December, and that is S&P 500 closes slightly lower, but tech climbs stifles downside. So there we go. So we had the Dow Jones just pretty flat actually. I mean, it's down 20 points to 48,710. We got the Nasdaq there down 2 points at 6,929, and the S&P 500 down 2 points to 6,929, and we got the Nasdaq down 20 points to 23,593. So pretty much down very, very slightly, not much at all. US dollar up very slightly as well, 97.73. And let's look at commodities. We've got West Texas at $56.93, down 2.5%. Wow, that's a big decrease, $1.40 there. And Brent oil down 2%, $1.35, down $60.89. So all coming back there. Let's look at oil over the last month. It's generally down, I guess you would say, generally down. Gold at the moment, 54,563 for gold, at 1.3%. So that continues to be pretty strong. And silver has been amazing, isn't it? Look at that, $79.62. Now, you guys know we've been talking about the silver going into the range of $75 to $125. And the outlet, even though it's had this massive rally, the upside's still there, right? Still there going in 26. But if you're on silver, then we're definitely in that range where you would start selling, right? So you'd start just edging out as it goes up after $75, right? So we're already at $79.62. So this is, if you have got silver, then you could think about start just chipping away, selling into this move right where we are from now on. Anyway, not financial advice, but that's kind of what I would suggest. All right, so kind of cool. Let's jump into the rest of it. So we did have NVIDIA doing pretty well. So that was a standout. Obviously, NVIDIA leading the AI boom, and of course the intelligence revolution. So that's kind of it from that. Let's have a quick look at the interest rate monitor quickly before we leave the old stocks. And we've got 4 weeks and 2 days to go. And we've got 20% of the market expecting a 25 basis point cut at the moment. So not the majority at this stage, but we've still got 4 weeks to go to see what happens there. And that's going to be on the 26th of January. We are expecting Ethereum to start rallying after the 10th of January into February. So, that scenario plays out, then, looking really good. We've got Super Snake in the house there. Good morning, Gigians. Yeah, good morning. Hey, look, if you guys are on X, leave a comment in the chat on X so I can see it, because at the moment it's just my comment. It's my comment at the moment. We'll just open that up. I've got it sitting on the side. It's the first time I've ever done that, so it's kind of cool. All right. Oh, you can open up in the app as well. I wonder if that looks a little different when you do that. Anyway, welcome, guys. Welcome. All right. So let's jump over to the old crypto market then. Yeah. Let's look at the cryptos. That was the stock market. So pretty muted, but man, commodities are going through the roof. Now, under the golden age of America, 26, 27, we are expecting those to continue to go up, but it's definitely a good range for that to move up. And you got to remember there is rotation too. We do get a bit of rotation in the markets. And while the fundamentals are really good, obviously markets don't, they do have pullbacks after having a big race. People take profits and then they cycle into something else, maybe like crypto, for example. All right. So that's kind of one of the narratives there. All right, let's get into the crypto, and we'll see what it. We'll go to the big screen for that. And we've got the total market cap at the moment, 3.034 trillion. Remember, this is very small in terms of crypto market caps. This is a very small market cap indeed. So just remember that. And so, yeah, I mean, I've got some comparisons, I think, here somewhere. Let me see if I can find those comparisons. 3 trillion is very small. And by comparison, let's see if I've got the latest data here. By comparison, we have markets. Let's see. So we've got 3 trillion for crypto, but equities, these are public stocks traded on the US market, is just under 70 trillion. So you got 3 trillion, 70 trillion. So big difference here. Fixed interest or fixed income or bonds. So if crypto is 3 trillion, you got fixed income bonds just under 60 billion, depending on the number you use. That's 60 trillion, I should say. So just on the number there. So, equities and bonds are not too far apart from each other, about $10 trillion. But you add those together, that's about 130 trillion, 130 trillion. So we're 3 trillion. So in crypto, crypto's still relatively small. Derivatives, which are, derivatives, a lot of these assets is a whopping, get this, I mean, this will vary depending on where you're looking for data, but 846 trillion, guys, derivatives. And that's the scariest market on the planet is derivatives. But of course, there's lots of different sub-markets within that. So real estate is around 130 trillion. So 130 trillion, 137, I should say, trillion. Forex, Forex is a little bit weird. So, because, you got Forex every day, but it's about 9.6 trillion a day, which is annualized to be about 3.5 quintillion a year. Yeah, that's right. Commodities, around about 60, 10s to 60s. So it can vary a lot between, tens of trillions and 60 trillion. And then you got private equity alternatives, which is pretty small, less than $1 trillion. So gives you an idea of some of the things, some of the comparisons there. So crypto is still a very small market, guys, a very small market. All right, let's get into the next one. We've got obviously Bitcoin at the moment at 87,348. It is flat at the moment. We've got Ethereum there at $2,923, up 0.3%. We've got BNB at number 4, down 0.2% at $833. XRP at number 5 is down 0.5%, $1.84. Solana is down 0.2%, $122 at number 7. Tron at number 8 is up 0.1%, just below 28 cents. Doge at number 10 is down 3.5% at 12.2 cents. So those are kind of the performances at the moment. No doubt Solana, the best performer. Yeah, BNB, Solana. Actually, the best performer is Bitcoin. Best performer is actually Ethereum, 0.3% up on the 24 hours. Best performer over the last week. That's got to be Tron, closely followed by Bitcoin. Closely followed by Bitcoin there at 0%. 0.4% down. Top 100 performers, we've got Midnight, the ZK chain from Charles Hodgkinson, recently launched, up 30%, sitting at number 75 in the top 100 now. Canton, number 2, best performer, 20%. And then we've got Uniswap up 11%. Sky, number 4, up 7.4%. And XDC Network has just come in the top 100 from looks of it, I think, up 7%. And that's sitting at number 100. There we go. Those are the top 5 and top 100. Top 1,000 gamers game. We've got Islamic Jihad Coin here, and then we've got Apro, and then we've got Wolf here. And we've got Wolf. So those are the top 1,000. Trending at the moment, Bitcoin, Ton Coin, and Pudgy Penguins, which is Tom Lee's favorite, right? Tom Lee's favorite. And they announced some recently new big partnerships, didn't they? Right, so those are the top trending cryptos right now. So 3 trillion, and we've got Bitcoin. Let's zoom in on Bitcoin a little bit more. Bitcoin chart here on the monthly. We can see we've got the yellow line moving ahead about was it $64,778 is the monthly average for 50 month moving average. We're well above that at the moment. You can see on a long-term perspective, we're still looking pretty good, right? Still looking pretty good here. And we haven't had really the banana part. See the banana part here in 2021? See that? And then the banana part, oh, let me just get rid of that. Banana part here, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's in 2016, 2017. Oh, wow. Look at that climb up all the way. And so we're waiting for that banana part, and you can kind of see we're almost getting ready for it, right? And we've got the perfect setup for it. So that's why, you wonder why I'm so optimistic. That is why, because we really have got the holy grail of bullishness ahead of us. Now, we've got a few volatility aspects, like the Supreme Court over the emergency use of tariffs, like the government shutdown, another one, and of course also the interest rate cuts. So we've got a couple little things there that could, little niches in the side, and that could create the first half of next year a little bit volatile. But actually, all the big macro picture stuffs are hyper bullish. We've got the perfect lineup all the way for the next couple of years. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of it. We're at $87,363. Let's have a look at the daily chart for Bitcoin on Coinbase, by the way. We're still in that death cross playing out, but we have kind of consolidated in this zone. So hopefully we'll just stay in this zone until the 10th of January, somewhere around here, and then take off time, right? Take off time. That is the play. All right, so Ethereum. Now, obviously, that's the upside scenario. That's the bull scenario, and that's the kind of the one that Tom Lee and Raoul Paul have, and that's the one we're sticking to because all the fundamentals are so good, so good. All right, so now we could have some of those negative forces I said about the Supreme Court. That's expected January, February. Obviously, interest rates are January as well, end of January. So we still have a few of those things sitting around, and they can create volatility. So we'll see how they impact, and if they do, I don't know if they're enough to do a down syndrome again. Maybe it's possible. The Supreme Court thing could definitely do that, and maybe the government shutdown. So there's certainly impactful variables we have to get into account. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it all goes in the right direction, right? So that's kind of the play. All right, so that's Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment, the 50-day is currently 2,535 on the 50 month moving average, I should say, and we've had a much flatter profile on the Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes, it's going to really, really go. Now, in terms of outlook, which I've got in their price outlooks, we've got for a Bitcoin, we've obviously got 250K is the target there for 26. And for Ethereum, the target there is in the short term, in the early part of the year, January, February, under Tom Lee's kind of scenario, is talking about 7 to 9,000 in the first early parts of 2026, with the upside potentially as if you get payment system adoption up to $20,000. That's right, up to 20,000. So we've got some big numbers there. Now his full network re-rate for Ethereum would be $62,000. That's kind of the play, but that's way further out. But certainly this year, coming up 2026, looking pretty good for 7 to 9K in the short term, and 20K perhaps towards the end of the year. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right, and of course he's hyper bullish about Ethereum because he's buying it all up, right? It's buying it all up. So that is the play right now, $2,928. Let's look at the daily. The daily right now is currently at 29.28. So we're starting to look very similar to Bitcoin. We've obviously got the death cross playing out as well. And so we're just hoping to hold on here just like that to maybe about the 10th of January because of the holiday period, right? Christmas holidays, and then take off after that. That's the play. We're taking note of those three potential volatile factors that I just mentioned before. So we also have, with Ethereum, we've obviously got some bullish upgrades next year. So obviously we just had a bullish upgrade. Now we've got for 2026, we've got Ethereum set for major 2026 upgrades, including Glamsterdam. Glamsterdam, so I guess it's supposed to be Glam. glamorous. This will bring a parallel processing to Ethereum, and gas limit increase to 200 million, expanded data blobs, so there's a kind of temporary data functions, and 10% network transition to ZK rollup. So obviously Richard's looking to kind of front run that a little bit with the old Pruvex, and of course we've got Railgun and Tornado Cash being done by Liberty Swap. So of course, Pulsechain is a full system state fork of Ethereum and can be upgraded as well, should they so choose to upgrade Ethereum. So that's something in the future that the Pulsechain will benefit from. That's a really people underappreciate that part of Pulsechain, that it is a full system state fork of Ethereum, and it can take up the upgrades that it wants, right? Especially to watch it work well. So kind of cool. But you know that Richard will always go for something that's going to create more value on Pulsechain. So if you're going to have too much space, then Richard's not going to go for that so much. And you got to remember who's going to be using which particular chain. So that's going to be interesting. Obviously, if you have a lot of people wanting to use Ethereum for a payment layer, as opposed to a ZVM, SMV, then yeah, it could be quite different. So we're going to keep a lookout for that moving forward in 2026. But yeah, big upgrade there. Glamsterdam are coming in 2026, so that is on the roadmap there. So just remember that. So that's pretty much our coverage of the crypto majors. So gonna be fun. Now, theoretically, we should be able to capture more and more of that Ethereum market on Pulsechain, right? So we'll keep lookout for that. And Liberty Swap and Richard Art playing key roles in that from what we're at this stage. We also have quite a few projects that are quite large that are doing multi-chain. That's certainly going to help as well, bring that multi-chain liquidity, capital, and users to Pulsechain. All right, so that is kind of cool. Let's get into Pulsechain though, the results on the markets, and I checked it out. So bam. So we've got the markets at the moment, day 959. So it's 959 days since Pulsechain launched. It launched on the 13th of May 2023, and we're heading towards 1,000 days. So we've only got 41 days to go. So it's pretty crazy. 41 days to go to 1,000 days. Where will Pulsechain be by then? Where will it be by then? Will it be well off the bottom by then? That's the hope. That's the excitement. So we shall see. We've certainly got a lot of bullish projects coming. Now, what does Pulsechain need? Well, we need things that eat up Pulse, right? We need things that eat up Pulse in many different ways, whether it's going into sort of LPs, it's being accumulated and stored, it's being put into protocols. We've got more protocols eating it up, giving good use cases for it. That's what we want to see, right? Lots more of that. And of course, then we can come in over the top with a lot of maybe some pumpermentals, some God mode candles, some things like that. And and of course popular protocols, and we can start eating up some of that Pulse and absorb some of the sell pressure, right? And then we can start stepping our way back up into an uptrend. That would be nice. So that's kind of some of the potential outlook there. So we're on day 959. We've got Pulse at the moment is at quadruple. Let's do a refresh of this of the web page to make sure we get latest and greatest. We've got Pulse up 1/3%. It's at quadruple 158. Now, it's going to move around a lot because, it's based on 24 hours on the base price yesterday. We've got Pulsex at the moment is quadruple 126. It's up almost 1%, 0.8%. We've got the buy and burn sitting at 8.31%, about the same as yesterday. Ink token at the moment up 1.8%, so that's a really nice little green candle. We've got a little bit of greenness there. Now, it's pretty baby in crypto, but it's still nice to see the green there. 66 cents, and we've got Hex on Pulsechain, or PHEX as we call it, is sitting at 27/100th of a penny. That is down 1%. And then we've got EHEX at the moment, still lost at 0, so we've got 00093. Scoop it up while you can, kind of thing, because having another 0 off that EHEX is pretty tasty. And then the combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting at 36/100th of a penny right now, so only a third, so pretty cheap overall for Hex. And of course, arguably has small liquidity, easy to pump, and also potentially less sellers. So that's kind of some of the noise there. Now, if you want to go check out Crypto Solve, we did some analysis on good old Pulsex and Hex, and well worth checking out. All right, not financial advice, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. We've got gas prices. At the moment, 233,000 beats, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap right now. So pretty standard business there on Pulsechain. Validators 52,240. So we've come down a couple hundred, haven't we? What's about 300? So we must have had some big ones exit there. So I'm not, we'll see what they're doing with that. I'm not sure whether Crypto Solver's covered those. There's got the bridge at the moment. Let's see what that's at, 78. So we're down about 150 to 200K today from yesterday. And that's kind of where we are right now. Now I do have a snapshot. I've got to make sure I get the right one this time. And that is from the 19th of December. So that is, 8 days ago. And we're sitting at 77.4. So we're up from there. So 77.4, we're up about 650K or so. So over the last 8 days. So that's, I mean, it's a little gift in the hand. Now, ETH was 6,035. We've got now 6,129. DAI was 17 point, just under 17.2. So we're at 16.6. Let's say I'm just rounding a bit there, but we're probably down about 650K there. USDC was 16 million. We're up 200K. So that's kind of cool. And then, so we're up on the ETH, up on the USDC, down on the DAI. And USD Tether was 4.9. We're now at 4.8. So we're down 100K on the USD Tether, almost, about 90K actually. So that's pretty much it where we are on those. So yeah. All right, let's jump over to the Pulsechain volumes, and we've got at the moment. Before we get to Pulsechain volumes, let's do the do Pulsechain volumes, and then we'll do Pulse afterwards. So we're at 3.3 million, which is super low. I mean, we can all appreciate that. Although, of course, it is people coming off to Christmas, so there's not probably a lot less people around, etc., etc. So we're at 3.3 million at the moment. $318,000. Sorry, 318,000 transactions, I should say. And the best performer today is SCADA from Neat the Supply. That's up 20%. Sitting at 1,600 to a penny. Let's have a quick look at that one. So it's been up for the last 2 days. So there we go. It's pretty. Last 3 days actually for the bottomed out. So it's kind of cool. Let's look at the pulse ratio for SCADA. Market cap at 300K. Let's look at that's the weekly candles. But let's look at the daily. That's the daily candles there. So yeah, up for the last 2 days in particular. And the pulse ratio there recovering quite nice. So the pulse ratio was 69. It's now 102. So it's a nice little bounce there for the old SCADA. So yeah, not too bad. That's part of the secondary token launched after Nuke the Supply. Very kind of niche, at least Nuke the Supply, very kind of niche, very clever little tokenomic game kind of thing. So kind of neat. The ARC been around for 4 months. Let me just check the market caps. Sometimes I forget to do that, but it's at 2.1 million apparently. But 2,200 of a penny. Diehard, that gives you PDI, right? Gives you PDI. I'm pretty sure it's PDI. Up 7.6%. That's at 3.1 cents. Let's have a look at the old Diehard. And that is the weekly candles there. So we've had quite a nice little uplift there. It's going from 2 cents, 2.1 cents to 3.1 cents. So what's that up? About 50% in the, it's got some dies, not pulse, but that's been going up quite nicely there on a low volume, very low volume though. What else have we got? Dump Tires Golden Coin, been around for 3 days, up 7%. Let's see if this has managed to hold up. Not really, kind of pumped and then sold down, but it seems to be holding down here at 00015. We'll see how long that can do that for. That's the old Dump Tires Gold token, probably a new pump tires there. It's got a website, so I'm not sure whether it's just a meme, another meme. We got CDI, which is often up here, one of the Pulsechain fork copies from Ethereum, up 5%. We got Staked ETH, also another fork copy from Ethereum, at 4.5%. So it's interesting to have two of them together. Sometimes we have either one of these, but they're both there. And then we have Bria. Bria there, of course, is going to be potentially, well, it looks very likely the AI agent for Coinwell and Coinaki, both of those Rack and Michelle projects coming up with Jen Rochelle. Jen Rochelle? Yeah, I guess, I don't know. But Jen there, his wife, is the CEO. So that is coming up, and that's currently up 4.5%. So just creeping back up there, not at 3,000 yet, but certainly moving up there a little bit more. We've got SolidX from Firewell. That's at 49 cents, sort of holding at that range at these days, 4%, but not a lot of news around that. And of course, we just leave that there where it is. We've got Greenwick is up 3.8% at the moment, been around for 11 months. We've got Doubt token, so one of the top RH meme tokens. That's up 3.4%. Let's have a quick look at that as well. Damn, I don't know why I keep getting the tradeless, but I do. So let's go to the weekly here because it's it's kind of where it is. So that is DAO token. Getting a little bit of love and support from Liberty Swap, I think, like yesterday, was it? But that is 1/3 of a penny right now. 1/3 of a penny. Let's look at the pulse ratio. Pulse ratio looking real good. Whoa, it's looking real good. So there must be some real diamond hand holders of that. Some really, because that's pretty unusual, isn't it? So that's holding up at 203. So a lot of support there. Now, obviously, if Pulse does a rebound, then the price will should go up really well unless people rotate. But apart from that, that is looking pretty good. Pulsex, of course, Inc. in the mix there up to number 13. Number 14 is Vouch. That's up 2.9%. Vouch is the number one validator on Pulsechain. And, of course, they have reflection tokens as well. The volume's pretty small at the moment. But Pulse starts to take off, then this will just take off, right? All things equal, right? All things equal. So that's up 2.9%. Number 18 and 19 is Peacock. Peacock there, obviously the quiet before the storm because of the upgrades, right? Because of the upgrades with Liberty Swap, which we're going to cover. And we might as well do that now. But we've got a little comment there from Super Snake. So, hey, Superman, your thoughts on 9mm versus Vouch versus PGC for revenue? Well, 9mm and Vouch have their own businesses, right? Whereas PGC doesn't, right? It has it's a reflection token system. I don't think they've got any business attached to it, as if I recall. So one would have to say the other ones were advantage. And so 9mm is the second biggest DEX, so you're getting fees from that. I think last month, they've been around 20K that've been hanging out to the NFT holders, if I remember rightly. And the Vouch is obviously people staking and earning in there with the validator revenue and with the reflection tokens. So, I'd probably be probably a bit of a split strategy between the 9mm and the Vouch. Maybe something to go there if you're wanting after blue chip stuff. And I think just the business, any project on Pulsechain with a business model behind it that's pretty much sustainable, which those are, right. You got a DEX and a validator, then those are, you definitely want to have a big bag of those relative to your speculative bags, especially if Pulsechain starts to turn to the upside, because they all get re-rated pretty hard with rational investors. But we have a lot of irrational investors too on the blockchain, so that's kind of play. All right, so yeah, that's how I'd put that at the moment. So I'd definitely put those other two in front there, but probably a split strategy or either or. Yeah, I mean, you can't go too wrong with the validator in a sense, because you got the price, you're still getting the volume, but the price goes down. Whereas 9mm, the volume can move around a lot more. But yeah, that's kind of some of the differences there. Would you focus on one of these or accumulate all three? Well, presumably because PGC's come down so far, it could be quite speculative, but there are big holders there. So yeah, that's just more speculative is the way I'd put it, but it could leverage quite hard too. So because it's got one of our biggest communities. So if we're looking for the pros of PGC, it's got one of the biggest communities. It's got a lot of influencers involved. Prairie Bernard does an amazing job on that. So if you wanted to add, I'd just consider that more risky, but with the upside could be quite good. So yeah, it's kind of the play. All three of those are probably good, but the riskier one is the PGC because they don't really have a business as reflections, but nothing else. So yeah, that's the way I'd look at that. All right, cool. Yep. If you want to get in Strategy Club, ask me more questions, join the links in the video description and pinned to the top of X. All right, so we've got Peacock at the moment. Let's dive into that. So that's sitting at 90, just below 9800 of a penny right now. We can see we've got a nice little wedge there, and let's have a look at the pulse ratio. Nice accumulation going on here, and look at the pulse ratio, 616. Our recent high was 662. So once we sort of break, maybe break 700 again, we could be game on there. And I'm pretty sure we've got lots of room on the RSI here. Let's bring that up. Most things on Pulsechain do. Most things on Pulsechain do. We got 53 here on the daily here at the moment on the old RSI, and we've probably got a weekly one too. Yeah, it's print. We've got a weekly print. It's done at 63. But it's looking pretty good. And of course, Vision 2 is about to. Well, it's kind of out, but not shown yet, right? It hasn't been revealed. They're still working on a lot of the plugins. Anyway, so we had Liberty Swap talking about good morning, friends. glad to back to business as usual. Let's make some money and reinvest it into the privacy infrastructure layer of Pulsechain. So they seem to be pretty committed to their vision, rolling out some pretty high-tech ecosystem on Pulsechain, and looks like it could really be one of the dominant players, if not the dominant player, right? Because they have the bridge and the bridge flows, and so they can plonk all their DeFi into the bridge and privacy wallet they're going to be doing. So it looks like it will be a heavyweight. Potentially, it could make because it supports Peacock. It would mean that because Peacock probably the best chance of being $1 billion coin, and that's just another. If we can get one of the top 10 coins being on Pulsechain that are meme coins, that'd be huge, right? So. Quite a few things have to happen before that happens, but that's certainly got that potential there, unlike other meme coins on Pulsechain, right? Unless Richard decided to suddenly pump something with all that ETH. I mean, that's the exception there. But in terms of just building it out, then LibbySwap looking like a key player there. All right, so that was that. Now I did have some updates around this. Where'd they go? Oh yeah, so that's right. So Amani here says, "Can you give me an update about this? Only 4 days left until the end of the year. I want to know where we are." So there we go. We got the boss man out. The boss man's out. And this was back on the 19th. So this is 8 days ago or so. And they put this out: 20 ETH per swap limit complete today. ETH Railgun to Pulsechain asset support. So obviously they've done those two. These were some of the other things that they had on the list. So USDC on Pulsechain. So we're looking for that stable coin right to Solana. And I really like the fact they're opening up Solana. It really is cool. Increased Ethereum Railgun to Ethereum Pulsechain. Swap limit raised to 20 ETH. And then they've got Coinbase on ramp to Pulsechain, which is really big deal, right? So that Coinbase, really big deal. Coinbase, one of the three major on ramps from the US citizens into crypto. UI upgrades to create a smoother flow for both Railgun and public swaps. And then they got technical roadmap for 2026 and Peacock roadmap for 2026. So pretty explicit there. All right, so they had that. That was on the 19th, and then they gave an update. Here we go. So 20 ETH per swap. So that was pretty much the same. So all that's the same. The only thing that was added that was ticked was increased ETH Railgun to ETH Pulsechain swap. Limit raised to 20 ETH. So we did see that. So it's fantastic. So we got that privacy swap there. And then they got the rest of these things on the list that we had. Now they had added an additional goal: ETH Railgun to Pulsechain coins. So ETH Railgun to Pulsechain coins via the Petius API. This is massive, right? I think we can all appreciate. You're talking about 9mm being our second biggest DEX. Having this is going to be basically tying into the DEX aggregator. Presumably they clip the ticket on a little bit on each trade. And of course, with volume, that can make a bit of decent fees, just additional income flow into the system there, which is well earned, and that's in privacy, right? So it's going to be hidden presumably, and so people have private, shielded accounts, and particularly big players will come into this quickly because they're used to using these tools and coming and buying up and down markets. You won't even know they did it, kind of thing, right? So who was that guy? All right, so that's kind of the idea, and that's going to change the whole game on the old Pulsechain, right? The invisible buyer and seller, so to speak. So we'll see how that plays out. We are working to push all upgrades live at the same time, so that's why we've seen a hold off. So we should get a lot of these other ones ticked pretty quickly. Maybe with the exception of these, we might get that on the maybe the 30th, 31st on the roadmaps. But remember that the one of the big upgrades here is we're expecting Petius. And of course, which they've just explained explicitly here. That's a big deal. That is mega. That's really one of the low-hanging fruits. But for next year, of course, with the hooks so the system's going to be able to just hook a lot of DeFi with the Vision 2 upgrade that's coming out probably in the next few days for New Year's. Is we're expecting a lot of DeFi, and of course they've already talked about Aave being launched as well. So pretty big deal there. And of course, this provides a perfect route if Richard wants to come in now, and we got Petius hooked up. Richard can come in with privacy with funds, assuming he wants to do it. Obviously, ETH has come down, so ETH would have to go back up, but he could come up, with other monies around. He's done that from time to time, and could just sit there without being tracked, and so there's none of this front running the ETH flow, and then he could buy and sell whatever he wants on the old Pulsechain, obviously the Richard cause. and ProveX as well, right? ProveX as well. So we probably should see ProveX on the old Pulsechain. That would make a lot of sense, but we shall see. That is the play. So yeah, thank you, mate. Railgun ETH to ETH Pulsechain 10 ETH swap. Now, am I wrong? We set it at 10 ETH for now. We have adjusted slightly based on demand and moved excess ETH to seed new routes. So obviously they have got a lot of capital that they have to seed for this. Yeah, well, are they live? I can't see ETH Railgun. ETH Railgun to wrapped ETH on Pulsechain is live. Previously, only wrapped ETH was. Pulsechain to ETH on Railgun was available. Now both directions work, so you can go back and forward from Pulsechain to Ethereum with the ETH and wrapped ETH. We are pushing the other routes to our apps. Process has to be done manually, so it takes a bit of time. It will be completed this week. So there we go. Yeah, so kind of cool. They're still trying to get their coin market cap listing, I think. Hopefully they will recognize the community coin has entered the top 1,000 by crypto market cap with great trading. Now, we know, I think the closest we got was to about 1,150 on the old Peacock when we were up at 3 cents. So when we were up here back in November, I think we got to about, this is my guess, but I think we got around about 1,150 or something. We were sitting around about 1250 or in that position. I think we're back at like 1500 or something at the moment. But that's on CoinGecko. But on CoinMarketCap, they can get that listing. That'd be pretty cool. So that's some of the stuff there from Liberty Swap. So we've got some big announcements there. Patius is ginormous. I think that's a big deal. And so yeah, looking forward to it. Just they got a new update here, but Pulsechain will end up with a privacy wallet that is even stronger and noticeably more user-friendly, especially for everyday users. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are on that. All right. So some big stuff. We look forward to it. Just checking to see if they've got anything else there. Yeah, that's it. All right, so that's Peacock right now and Liberty Swap. So that's the next big launch. So it's kind of cool. Let's keep scrolling down here. So we got up to about number 28 or so. We got a few others in here. UFO, Pulse Puppy up about 3%. So we've got little tiny gainers here in US dollar terms. Most wanted, Teddy Bear. That's James Maria Teddy Bear X game from Firewell. We've got Liberty here up 2%. OG Web Chef, remember the 5th of September up 2%. What else there? Zero Trust there, tied into the old Peacock. They're building out their own kind of creative ecosystem, aren't they? That's up 2%. Moonix there up 2%. RSI oversold up 1.6%, etc. Liquid Loans, one of our liquidity forks, the biggest one right at the moment. Obviously, we've got Vault 369 coming up from Fast Abdul. That's going to be challenging the old Liquid Loans for number one top dog. There's going to be multi-chain. So expecting some good things there. Now, remember these forks like liquidity forks that add a lot of TVL. And that TVL gets recognized by the market, right? So we're just sort of like, can we add more TVL projects that are sustainable as well? Now, remember we did have Better Bank launch their modified Aave fork thing, and that they ended up getting like $30 million or so on that. But that all obviously got exploited and never really recovered. I think it's down at $2 million now. And then they launched their new basic, I think it was a basic Aave fork, and that is that's sitting. We're talking about tens of thousands, I think, and it's not much in there. So that's some of the updates there. But the vouch, the Vault 369, that could be pretty cool, adding to the TVL on the Pulse chain and multi-chain too, right? So that's kind of getting us into the 1% marks here. We've got a few other mentions down here at 1%. P Tiger, Sun Minimal there, back at 5.9 cents. That's going to Solana. What else there? We've got ALGO, Hex Derivative, just up 1%. Getting a few others here. Reserve Tay, Pump Tide Die, up about 0.5%. Top Hat, up about 1/5 of a percent. So we're just above the green line here. And so we'll look at Top Hat. So Top Hat, of course, is Crypto Coffee, arguably the largest influencer on the Pulse chain. Is if you measure multiple dimensions of influencing, then we're at 1/10 of a penny right now. So that's come all the way down. So we'll see whether they get some love on there, because it's not getting much love at the moment. That's versus Peacock, of course. Peacock going up there. I'm not sure where they got the Pulse beer, where that is at, but that's where it is at the moment. What else? We got Gophers, the first 404 contract from Dipcatcher. It's currently at just under $51. That's pretty much flat. We've got a couple other sort of niche tokens here: Sava, content reward token, and surgical trainers. What else there? How many we got? 63 that are green in the US dollar terms, and then everything else. So some of these will be underneath the Pulse price because that was up at least what do we say, a third or something, 0.5%. And then we've got everything else down, which is down against Pulse in US dollar terms for sure. Pump Tires down here. Now, Pump Tires, of course, going to face some challenge from potentially face some challenge from Coin Mafia being launched by Rick and Michelle. We're going to talk about that in a minute, etc. And we've got Mafia, the big game from Jacob. That's getting very close to launching, guys. Honestly, I don't know if he's going to do a New Year's launch or New Year's Eve launch, or probably do maybe early January. It's definitely looking good for an early January launch. I mean, there's not much left on the roadmap, but there's about nothing of that looks substantial. So they could be having the killing on the old Mafia game. So we'll see. Currently, it's at 0.0006500. So it's kind of cool. We've got all the Richard Hart cores in here. They're all down 1% right now on the old Hex, taking it all the way to number 79. Scroll down, we've got 9mm here. Guys are talking about that. So obviously, with Pulse down, this is going to be down, but actually these guys have continued to deliver. I mean, it's continued to deliver. They recently, this is doing good things. This consistently delivered. So we could see a massive re-rate if we get Pulsechain on the hype. We get the rest of the crypto market up, then we could see a massive re-rate on the old 9mm. And at the moment, that's what it looks like in the chart. So it's already up quite dramatically. We exclude this wick that we had, then let's take it at 215 on the bottom, and we're already up at 506 pulse per 9mm. So already getting rewarded for dividends and selling out the NFT collection that they had, and they just keep delivering, just turning it over. And the market cap at the moment, 791k on the second biggest DEX. So not too bad, not too fazzy there. Obviously, check out the rest of the metrics, but this is kind of a quick overview. We got Finvestor, the parent of OG WebChef, is the grandparent, I always call it, is $2.11 right now, down 1.77%. So look down here, we've got PTC the Greys, another one that Super Snake was looking at there, that's down 6%. Holding on to 0001, guys. I mean, it's just holding on. So look there, they have done some good updates with the dashboard, new website, analytical website, and Prue Bernard always doing some good videos, but just holding on at the bottom of this range right now. Doesn't really want to lose this, really. Just hold that, and the RSI indicated that it's got some degree of support, 36, not oversold yet, but certainly got room to go down. But you really wouldn't want to go down too far. Maybe the next level is 6,600. But if you can hold this kind of consolidation, and we get a bit of a turnaround in the new year, then it could look pretty good there on PTC de Greys. It does appear, at least at the moment, that with the volumes as well, looking at the volumes, that the big holders aren't necessarily selling at the moment. So they might be holding Diamond. That's the question. All right, there's got some big holders that got in, still got relatively early back in the old October 23 period. But this is the first DAO token on Pulsechain, so it has that too with it. A little bit of branding there, functionality. So it's ticking away there. And the other one that's down, that's another blue chip, is Time Dividend, right? So Time Dividend all the way down here at a 1/10 of a penny. So obviously with Pulsechain down, you're getting all these blue chips are all down too. And so if you get the reversal, it makes sense that these would all get re-rated to the upside pretty quick, because they're kind of the blue chip protocols that all got a business, right? So they've got swapping dexes or dex aggregating or liquidity fork stablecoin DeFi yield. So that's the sort of idea, right? And so they're all pick up compared to pump and dumpers, meme coins, and reflection tokens like pure reflection tokens. So it's kind of the differentiality there. We'll see how irrational the market is, but that is the idea. All right, so let's jump away. That's the market update. Let's go to the Pulse chart and check out where that's looking at the moment. We're going to go to the weekly. Let's go full screen. Get rid of all these overlays. And we've got the daily chart here. Let's just go to the weekly, shall we? Let's go to the weekly chart. That is the weekly chart right now. And we can see, let's go full screen. Let's do full screen on this one. and we can see that screen there is looking full. We got the quadruple 01570, so pretty low on the old pulse chain, and we've been down. Now let's add in the overlay again, and that purple box is the SEC. So the time that the SEC was holding us down, but we had a rally out of that, right? We had a rally, and we rallied pretty nicely actually. Rallied from 40s 2100 to 40s 5500. So that was a pretty nice little rally out of the SEC event. And what was that? That was 160%, so 2.6x. But then, of course, the markets had a lot of volatility. We had a lot of dumpers, large holders of Pulsechain, sacrifices, etc., selling down. And we are down here. So, CryptoSoul's covered a lot of that stuff. And so here we are, we've bounced off 40s 1472. So I'm just going to say 40s 1500. And here we are just above that at the moment, almost at 1600 at the moment on the weekly candles here, but still not looking particularly good. Well, hopefully we can hold that 1500 line for the old pulse chain. I did note someone, was talking about us going potentially down to 1000, but I don't think that's inevitable. We're down, that would be down here. So if they were right about that, that's down 50% from here. It's pretty 50%, pretty close to 33%. Yeah. So we got the RSI on the weekly down at 33. So we're not fully exhausted. So that downward scenario is definitely plausible, but we'd probably need something for that to happen, right? I need something unusual, some black swan. Yeah, and we've had a lot of black swans, but we'll see. So that's the downside. The upside, of course, is that we've got a long way to go up. So fingers crossed there. We've obviously got a lot of decent protocols launching in the future, so that's all good. We want to get more demand on the old pulse, absorb some of that sell pressure potentially. We also got obviously Pruvex ending on the 10th of January as well. So it's the same time as we're expecting the markets to recover and start rallying. So the 10th, and so hopefully that also indicates that Richard makes some moves over maybe on New Year's or in the up the 10th of January. And if we do see ETH start to rally, then that gives a lot more firepower for Richard to move. And if we've got Liberty Swap in place with their privacy, in the next few days, then and tied into Proteus, then that gives some optionality there too to come in and pump the bags, as it were. Now, obviously, he's talked about wallets coming in and doing a bit of a pump and keep getting sold into. So that's something that has to be absorbed as well. So the weekends, are they out? Well, they're clearly not out completely. We do have some accounts that are probably willing to keep selling until they get all rid of their bags, and some of them holding pretty big bags, right? So that is still to play out. So that's kind of the pros and cons where we might be heading into the new year, but we've certainly got a lot of fundamentals that could potentially take us up there. We've got a lot of room on the RSI to do it. So if all those projects and anything Richard Hart does, and of course Liberty Swap do, then we could get a nice little rally into the beginning of January as well and join the market, hopefully. So that's kind of the idea. Where could we go to? Well, we could go anywhere here. So let's see how we get onto on that. And so even a double from here would take us to 3600. So let's just say we etch out a double. That's down. It's around about here. So we'll keep a lookout for that. We'll keep it humble right now until we start pitching up. Now, there's always going to be a bottom, right? Always going to be a bottom. And of course, we are expecting 26, 27 to be the golden age. We've got monetary policy, fiscal management, and growth in GDP. Big record growth in GDP is what we're expecting in the US. So that's all bullish. And we've also got the perfect lineup of crypto policy coming. All right, so Clarity Act, Genius Act, crypto market structure, all that sort of stuff, all playing out. And then probably the US government going to say, hey, we're going to be buying up stuff too, all the good stuff. So really, really bullish for the next couple of years. So we've got near-term bullish stuff and we've got the medium, long-term bullish stuff. So we'll see how we get on. There's always a bottom in the chart, and maybe we're pretty close to it. We shall see. All right, people that are contributing to potentially more is possibly Coin Mafia coming up. So maybe they're getting pretty close to their launch. I haven't checked their Telegram today, but they're doing a private whitelist and then going public after that. That's what I can see. So that could be pretty exciting. And they've been putting out lots of promo publications here. I think we all know what the coin name will be. just more than just a coin. It's family, says Coin Mafia. So they're going to be doing a little whitelist to launch. I think they're going to have, 100 million tokens. And that is a billion supply, but they're burning 90%. So basically, it's not 100 million. And that could be happening soon. I haven't checked to see whether that's today or tomorrow, but it's got to be pretty close. And then, of course, they'll get close to launching Coin Mafia, which could be before New Year's Eve. So we'll find out. Maybe it's going to be in the new year. I don't know. It's getting pretty close though. All right, so kind of cool. Now he's indicated that Coin Mafia has had a lot of interactions. So we're kind of looking forward to that. It's going to have 375 chains, by the way, so it's a really big deal. Zero founder allocation, insane gamification, anti-sniper mechanics, refunds, and the waitlist is already blowing up. Don't sleep on this one. It's curious spots, so it's kind of cool. Now they've had 125,000 visitors as of today trying to get access to the website. So seems to be getting a lot of direction there. So getting a lot of interaction. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That is a launch coming up. That is, of course, a coin launcher site with new tokenomics and up to 375 chains. So we're going to watch that play out. And the other thing is, what I'm interested to see is what Rackham's investment networks, you can draw into those. So I'm really excited about potentially that. Not just for Coin Mafia, but really for Coinwell coming up, which is another project, full DeFi ecosystem. So hopefully this generates a lot of users, and then you can transfer those users into Coinwell and potentially Coinarchy with the Battle of the Memes. So those three kind of go together. This is the first one here, and this one here is got the director is Mr. Wu, which is a comedian influencer on Pulsechain. All right, we got JC in the house. Merry Christmas, guys. Are you guys still at high levels of opium for Pulsechain? I think so. Yeah, I think so, JC. I think we are speaking on behalf of the community. Super Snaker says, do you think we will see 2,300 ETH first quarter of 26? Only on bad news. I'm actually more positive about us going to Tom Lee's targets of 7 to 9K in the first quarter. And I think that will kick off from the 10th of January. It's kind of the play. But we do have some volatile, we do have some risks, which, as I mentioned earlier, which is around the Trump's tariffs and the Supreme Court. I think the Supreme Court's based on the terrible defense, terrible criticism, prosecution from the Democrats, basically, that they will lose that case, and so therefore that should be secured. If it's not, then it's a short-term hit. But the Trump administration does have alternative ways of raising capital. It's probably more the political maneuvers that they've used with tariffs to get certain outcomes. You got to remember that they're up against globalists, and globalists are destroying the West, right? So there's a big battle going on here, and the US is really the main power that's holding this whole thing up. And without the US, the West would be in pretty dark. We're moving into darkness in a big way. So that's very important. So anyway, back to this point. Yeah. So on the low side, that would have to take some of those hits from the government shutdown. Maybe again, if the Democrats try that, they didn't really work out too well from last time. But we know that they like to use that over and over again. They got the midterms coming up, so they're going to try and make Trump look bad, and all the stuff's coming in really good. So we saw the GDP numbers come in; they were spectacular. I think it was 4.5% or something. So they're very desperate because they've got very little to be able to hit them with. So shutdowns are another thing that Democrats might work on. We know that the Democrats are working with the deep state still, even though Trump's shrinking the public sector and transferring employees to the private sector. The deep state's still trying to do work slow, fake out the names, pretend we're not doing DEI, but we're trying to do DEI, and all that sort of horrible policies that they have of the Democrats. So we'll see. But so far, it's a bit of a flood. Now, I'm expecting some bigger things to come out of the Trump administration by 2027, including around medical breakthroughs and other things like that. But that's for another show. All right. So, yeah. All right. So that's kind of cool. And we kind of hit, back on your 2,300, we kind of hit 2,500 with that on the 10th of October. We had the, liquidity event and the big market maker got hit. And so it's been taking about 8 weeks to clean it out. And so now we've kind of cleaned it out before Christmas Eve. So 26 is looking really bright for the upside. All right, so it's kind of cool. That's some of the stuff there from Rack and Michelle. We're looking forward to the launch. Very excited to see it. It will certainly suit certain type of launches compared to others, like the Pump Tires and Pump Fun, which because you can get 10% with this new protocol, Coin Mafia, and 82% of the supply using the old one. So that will suit certain players that want to control the market one way or the other. All right, so it's kind of cool. Now, I think that was it. Now, ProvX stats. We haven't really looked at this for a while, have we, on the old ProvX stats? But before we do that, let's just go through some of the projects that are coming up. So we just talked about Coin Mafia that's coming up. We've got Liberty Swap Version 2. These are all big deal. These are all big projects. We've got, obviously, coming up after Coin Mafia, we're expecting Coinwell, the big DeFi ecosystem from Rack and Michelle. And then, of course, Koinaki, I think a battle of the memes type meme site, which is going to glue all that together. And then they've got a couple of educational sites coming out after that. So it's kind of the lay of the land. They're multi-chain. We've got Vault 369 from Fast Abdul. We're expecting that to launch soon, whatever that is. All right. I thought it might come out before Christmas, but before New Year's Eve, I should say. We'll see whether it does or not. Whether it's going to be launched in the new year, maybe when sentiment picks back up, because obviously timing of the market's very important. So, maybe they hold off until the 10th of January once things start maybe picking up, then once back from holidays, etc. So that's kind of the play. We've got this week coming up. We've also got expecting the Tetra launch, which is frontier innovative technology around democratizing the blockchain, so people can download the software, interact with the blockchain, and set up things like limit orders and all that. And it's very visual. It's very easy to do, and we could see a bit of a boom in that space. It'd be nice to see that. Maybe influencers or people in the community building up a whole thing around that could be pretty exciting. I've tried to do my best on this channel to use that in some way or another. And we know other teams are going to use Tetra as well for some of their protocol interactions potentially. So I've definitely seen Jacob look into it from Mafia and stuff like that. So Mafia could be very soon. That could be coming very soon. On-chain bet, which is the second of the 3 projects of Jacob, could be pretty close. Maybe that's going to be a January launch. We'll see. And then, of course, we've got PUSD ALGO waiting for Tetra to launch. And after Tetra, we're expecting early January. So if we get Tetra before the end of the year, and then we get Signum in the new year. Now, these times, this is what we've been given as timetable, but, there's slips and none, so we'll see. But in the new year, we should get that just following after Tetra is Signum Oracle, so our second public Oracle on the Pulsechain. That's going to be really cool. It's going to enable other projects to launch, and that means PUSD ALGO. We should get an update for PUSD ALGO, the third of the 3 projects of Jacob's, and then, of course, what Cult DeFi and I consider the flagship project. This is a kind of a hybrid stablecoin, but really it's the full algorithmic stablecoin essentially. It is a bit of a hybrid, but it's kind of as close as you can get, I guess, to a proper algorithmic stablecoin, because most stablecoins are over collateralized or fiat backed, and so they don't really solve the trilemma, which is scalability around crypto very well. So that's also one of the I guess general benefits it brings. But that could be add big to the DeFi, and also we've had some teasing about the tokenomics in alignment with the Genius Act a little bit, so we're not quite sure what that will mean, given the team's based in Europe, right? But it could be interesting, and they've got some new technology, so we'll wait and see that, because the heart of that was going to be stability miners. So we're really looking to see that mechanism work. We saw it working well on a live test on the blockchain, but we want to going to see it operate. So we're pretty excited about that, and that's, of course, one of the is it the last of the big sacrifices left? I think it might be outside of ProvX, which is new, right? I think out of the OG sacrifices, I think it's the last one to launch is the old PUSD ALGO. So I'm sure all the sacrifices will be pretty excited about that, and we've covered it a lot on this channel. So that's potentially could be really big with the DeFi and stablecoin. That's all coming as well. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff, and of course, there's many other teams looking to launch protocols as well. So those are some of the heavyweights we're expected to launch before the end of the year. Couple. So we've got at least 3, I think, we added there. Coinwell, possibly Liberty Swap V2, and Tetra, I think, are the ones we just like there. I think the other ones will probably all be in January at this stage, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. So that's some of the cool stuff there. Let's get into ProvX and talk about that. So we haven't talked about it for a few days. So what day are we on, guys? We're on day 45. Woohoo! Day 45. And the rate at the moment is $4.28 per 10,000 points plus the volume ranking bonus. So we're going to go from $4.28 and jump into day 46 in about 22 minutes. And that will be moving up to $4.55. So 428 to 455 is the dollars there. $4.55 for 10,000 points. Now that's 46, so we're really, working through it, and we've got 9 days to go essentially until I guess to day 54. So we're 9 days to go to countdown. We're in that final 10-day period, and that's the last day of the volume rank bonus. And by the time we get to day 54, which is on the 4th of January, so in the new year, we will have the rate at $7.40. And then after that, the volume rank bonus disappears. So it's gone, and then it's just a flat rate at 75%. And that will go from $7.85 all the way up to $10.01 by day 59, which is the night, the 10th of January. And that's the end. That's the end. So, during this period, of course, we've got New Year's Eve. Will we see a God mode candle on New Year's Eve? You just never know, do you? You just never know. You can have some hope. You just never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
That might be a nice first test for Liberty Swap's version 2 with Batias, right? That could be pretty nice, getting a nice little God mode candle. I don't know, no promises, but we did have one back in New Year's Eve for 2020, wasn't it? New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. I think it was at midnight sometime. So, that was pretty interesting. All right, so that gets us to play at the end there. And, of course, what will happen after the 10th of January, right? That's the thing. Now, presumably all this technology is going to be ready. We're not waiting for 2 years for the technology. Presumably it's all there already. So fingers crossed on that, because that would be pretty disappointing if it wasn't. Pretty disappointing. All right, so let's have a look at the totals at the moment. So not much change really. In fact, virtually nothing's changed. We're at 16.378 million, 320 billion points, 13,933 sacrifices. That might creep up to 14,000. During this last part, of course, we should, if Richard does the usual play game, a playbook, I should say, then the OA should come in here and scoop up all the supply. Now, that would just depend on how much of the ownership he wants, right, versus the 16 million and the points. But, it could be like $85 million in an ETH or something like that might pop in there. We shall see. And, of course, it's all a bit of a money go around. So that is the play. So we should see some action there. What else? So we got that many points, that many sacrifices. The biggest one, of course, was the Prevex pool from Buckamentals. That's kind of the retail pool that got the whale multiplier. Just over $5.3 million went in there. 1,226 accounts. So pretty cool. And the rate they got was 2.66. We did see that Pulsechain whale come in pretty late, a relatively bad rate, but still got the good multiplier. And of course, they're on they obviously decided to bet on the X's they might be able to get on a small capital raise. That was kind of the argument there. And then we saw all these other wallets come in, and they look pretty coordinated. Presumably, they're all or most of them are associated to each other, all the way down to 100,000. There might be a few individuals in there, perhaps. Probably is, but that's probably maybe it's Rack and Michelle, maybe it's something like that. We don't know. So at least I don't know. So that is in the play as well. Now moving to the blockchains, out of 16.4 million almost, 11.9 million from Ethereum, 3.7 million from Pulsechain. Now obviously from Ethereum, quite a bit of that will also be from Pulsechain routed through the bridges, but directly 3.7 million on the Pulsechain. And of course that's pulled the price down on that Pulse chart, and we would have had inactive active assets, and also I think it was about 34 million that CryptoSolve talked about being sitting on the sidelines on Pulsechain, which seemed like a lot. It seemed like a lot of capital. So I'm not sure how that number was broken down from memory, but yeah, that is in play. And also people selling down the charts, which we definitely saw that, right? So that's all money there, but it's gone to Richard, or at least gone to the OA, whoever the OA is for that. You ask question. Anyway, we got EVMs there, 181k on the BSC, 140k on Base, and 120k on Bitcoin. Those are the kind of numbers there. We've got still decent numbers on Arbitrum, 91k, and Monero 73, Ripple 61. Interesting there, and then 56 on Solana. So the number of chains over 50k, and that's kind of where it is at the moment. Not much change for many days now, and we're ramping it up through to the end. And next only real thing we're expecting to see is kind of the OA come in and have the majority supply and be the kind of central bank, just like the OA is on the old Pulsechain for Pulsex and Pulse, be the central bank for for Pruvex. And of course, some of the early adopters have been hinted at Patis, I think. Patis, I think they did. Yeah, it was certainly Liberty Swap, and a couple other project teams definitely said that they were looking to support it. I think Pulse Coinless maybe. It was I can't remember all of them now, but that was come into play there. So we shall see. Hey, Sean's in the house. Hey, Sean, appreciate it. Reposted the stream. Yeah, well, that's great. We are wrapping up now, but appreciate that. And of course, all the replay gang can watch that. And I can see your comment on X. Nice one there, Sean. That's showing up. Very, very cool. If you guys are on X, start commenting on the chat there now that I'm aware of the chat box, because I had seen it many times, but I just left it on the back burner, but I have got it up now, so I can see your X comments, which is pretty cool. All right, we're up to now in 11 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys had a great Christmas time, and you had great food, great company, and celebrated Christmas, of course, and for us who are Christians, the birth of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. We obviously it's not the exact date, but it's used to celebrate. The history of Christmas is pretty interesting. Apparently, the first guy was a guy in Turkey in the 3rd century. Was giving gifts. It was a great guy, one of those great older folk, and got famous doing it. And then I think in the Reformation, then got picked up to move those gifting of presents into Christmas time, and which is something like 9 months after the birth. I think it's after the Easter or something like that. And that could be two different dates: the 25th of December and the 6th of January. So they chose 25th there and brought in that present giving. And then we got, I think it was in the 1930s, we had Santa and Coca-Cola, right? So Coca-Cola introduced the Santa into the old Christmas, and so you got the combination of Santa from Coca-Cola, the presents gifting of the 3rd century, and the birth of Jesus Christ, which is a ceremonial birth date. So it's kind of all combined today, and we've had that, obviously enjoyed all the celebrations with the bright lights, the Christmas trees, and the ho-ho-hos, and all that sort of stuff. So Merry Christmas to you all. We've got New Year's Eve coming up now, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we know the parties are going to be hearty, and hopefully we'll be partying. Maybe, who knows what will come into the new year, but it's certainly looking like we've got the ultimate setup for next year and the year after, in terms of the markets and crypto and things like that, with a few little challenges, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll see how we ride through those. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get through all of them without too much of a hiccup. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you guys again on tomorrow's show. Peace out. And I know many of you might be getting ready to travel, so safe travels on the roads. Hope you guys enjoy wherever you're going. If you're going to lakes or campgrounds or whatever it is, it's a summer here in the southern hemisphere, down under Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands. So a lot of people go to campgrounds. In the north, I guess you might be going to maybe a ski camp or something. I don't know, some lodge, ski lodge or something. Maybe Aspen. I don't know. I know it's a pretty well-to-do place, but wherever you're going, all the best, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the live stream. Take care. Bye for now.